Okay, hi Yannik. How would you describe the current state of the market? Do you see it as a bull market, and if so, what are the main drivers behind it?
I think the main drivers really are political, right? So I feel like within the last few weeks we haven't had the biggest technological breakthroughs. So I mean, it's entirely political based, but I think that's interesting because people now feel like there's new potential, new potential to build these kind of technologies and actually change the world. So I feel like that's where this optimism comes from, where people think, okay, what we've been doing over the last few years now can finally be implemented in enterprises and governments, can actually find the usage that we always wanted to see.
Okay, looking towards the next year, what do you anticipate will have the most impact on your industry?
So I think what will have the most impact is, precisely for us, since we're doing confidential computing and confidential AI, I think the biggest impact really will be being able to onboard enterprises, being able to onboard institutional players more into the decentralized world.
Okay, recently you acquired your biggest Web2 competitor. What does it mean for the Web3 space?
So they've been around for many years. They did foundational cryptographic and confidential AI work for more than 8 years, right? And have been leading in this traditional space. And they did a lot of work with defense contractors, with governments, with organizations in healthcare, in TradFi. And so it's a significant shift, right? It's bringing all of that into the Web3 world, and what we're trying to achieve with that is really integrating that technology into our network, into our supercomputer, and making it accessible to anyone. So it's this entirely different approach of not going around and keeping technology proprietary, but instead saying, hey, we want to build this open infrastructure for confidential computing. And what it means, I feel like, is that confidential AI will become something that we can finally use, and confidential AI really is the prerequisite for decentralized AI.
In what ways does Arcium's global supercomputer design contribute to its scalability and performance for confidential computations?
So I think our conscious design is really significant for scalability, but also for accessibility. So Arcium is this completely focused network solely on computation. So it's stateless, it's not an L1, it's not a blockchain. Instead, it's entirely focused on confidential computations. And what that means is that you can think of existing blockchain networks as I/O devices, as input and output devices into our supercomputer. So just like with a regular computer, just on a larger scale. Now, by having this stateless architecture, the nodes within Arcium can run basically as many computations in parallel as the speed of light allows them to do, which is one of the most important aspects for scalability. And on top of that, they're able to run those in parallel for different networks. Accessibility-wise, what we can also do is we can accept computations from off-chain sources. So we don't require companies, for example, wanting to use that confidential computing power to write smart contracts and use blockchains. Instead, they can just use this supercomputer. So both for scalability and accessibility, this design is highly important, I think.
Okay,
all right, thank you very much.